Now we are going to look at capturing the debt info for the client. So I move on from applicant info, income and expenses to the debt info sheet. Here is where I'll capture all the info for all his agreements and everybody that he owes money. Now as you can see, we start with this blank screen, and from our income and expenses we do know what the affordability is. We do have calculated the contingency amount, which we will cover how to change a bit later. And now I want to start adding debts to the screen. Now the first part that I need to do is select the credit check button. Now this is the first time we are really using the buttons here at the bottom, and you would have seen all across the screens there are buttons at the bottom. We'll cover what all the other ones do as we progress, but for now the first one we encounter here is credit check. So if I click at the credit check button here at the bottom of my screen, what the system will do is connect to Experian and draw the credit bureau report for this client. Before it does that though, it does a validation check to see is everything we need captured, is everything we need valid. Now what it does is it comes here and see, oh wait, this bank account I've entered here is incorrect. The system does know the bank serve CDV validations, so it will check whether the bank accounts line up with the branch and the bank code and the account type. So here I can see in these account numbers I left out the last 7. Find out the validation errors in the system is pretty simple. I just follow the little red hands. I'll see like this one says applicant info, there's a little red hand flashing. In bank details there's a red hand flashing, and then the actual field that has the problem is highlighted red. So if I follow the little red hands down, I will always get to where the problem is with the incorrect data. So now I can try again, click on credit check, which will then import the client's information for me automatically. So although this has done a full credit check, certain parts of the data will get imported here into the system automatically, and in another menu we can go and draw the full report for this client. This is a great time saver since I do at least have something to start off with, bank account numbers, balances, that sort of thing. You'll see that certain of accounts are automatically ignored. Anything where there's a zero balance, that it's automatically taken off and ignored. I can here also sort. I can sort by ignored. So by clicking on the column header I can sort by that field, and I can put all the unignored ones at top, and the ones that are ignored, that as you can see here all have zero balances, I can put at the bottom. So this is now the client's credit bureau report, and I can go filter out which ones should be there, which ones shouldn't. I can see like Vodacom shouldn't really be there. And then I can go through and capture details for each one of the credit providers. When I click on a credit provider, you'll see at the bottom it opens up the detail panel. On the detail panel, I can then go update details like the account reference number. Now, this account number is what came from Experian, but notoriously they can be inaccurate. So here I can go and change this account number from what is given to the correct one if I have something different. I can also select the category. Is it a microlender, collections, is it bond, overdraft, vehicle, or any other form of debt? I can go and insert the latest balance that I have, what the installment is, what the current interest rate is. The interest rate does not get stored with Experian, so we cannot pull it from the report. So it's something that you will always have to populate. We can insert the remaining term. How long does this client still need to pay on this account? We can put in the original term. How long was he meant to be paying? We have a COB date, which will be the date we get the COB balance from our credit providers. When we do get that, then we have a few fields which we'll use when we do proposals, use amended interest rate, new payment variance. Those will all come into play later. Monthly fee, is there any monthly service fee on this account? So the monthly service fee that the client should be paying, enter there. Start date, when is the actual date they opened this account? Arrears balance, how much are they in arrears by, and number of months they are in arrears with this account. Proposal status will populate as we go through, saying has the credit providers accepted this proposal or not. Payment type, how does the consumer pay this account? Does he pay it by cash, by debit order, by salary, by interim account? And if he does pay it by debit order, we will print a debit order stop form for this account. Then at the bottom we have here a field monthly premium, third party insurance, insurance company name, insurance account number, and insurance type. And these fields are important in terms of the TASTEM rules, where we want to know if there are any linked insurances to this account and ensure that they are still managed and used. Now, the monthly premium is what this guy's insurance premium is, whether it's credit, life, third party insurance. That is if the insurance is with a separate company, not the credit provider themselves, and the client took it out. Like for instance on a bond, he might have life insurance somewhere else that is seeded to cover the bond. Insurance company name, if it is a third party insurance, so a different company than the credit provider itself. And account number, if it's third party, so someone different. And then there's, is it credit insurance, credit life insurance? A lot of times they might be combined, and then it can just be listed as credit life insurance. If I've changed anything on this detail panel, I have to click the apply changes buttons. If I do not click apply changes, it will not save what I changed. For instance, if I go back here and I make this 1,400, you'll see I'm an African bank. I can click on Bayport and the name here will change to Bayport. Going back to African bank, the balance is still 1,500, not 1,400, because I didn't click the apply changes button. If I want it to change, I need to click apply changes. This will then update that. I can also change some of the fields in the grid. So I can change the balance, the installment, the rate, the term, the service fee, and the arrears. I can all change in the grid. So I can change that balance right there to 600 Rand without having to go to the details grid. And so I can go through and capture all the data for all of these debts. To manually add a debt that might not have been on the credit bureau report but still a debt the clients had, I go to the add button. Clicking on the add button will bring up the add screen. Here I can now enter the details of this new loan. First, I will always check if a credit provider is listed. So I'll search for him again on the prompt, and I can search, do they exist on the Maximus database? Like if I search for ABSA, I will find ABSA. And I'll see I'll have ABSA Bank Credit Card, ABSA Bank Vehicle Asset Finance, add personal loans and mortgages, so I can select the correct one that's applicable. If I do not find the credit provider there, I can then manually enter the name. Then I can add the account number, I can enter the date he opened the account, his current balance, his installment, what the rate is of this, what the original term is. Since this is a credit card, I can enter that as 12 months. What his monthly service fee is, if there is any, his insurance details, insurance type, the arrears balance if any, category I can select, is it a credit card, clothing, furniture. I can say whose account is this the applicant or the co-applicant's account. I only have an applicant, so I'll select that. Again, how is it paid, salary, debit order. If this is one that is not on the database, so if this wasn't ABSA but a doctor's account or some other account that's not listed yet, it is vital that we enter the email, fax and telephone number here. This gets used in the interim until we can load this credit provider onto the Maximus system, and is also the way we will try to contact them to get their details in order to load them on the Maximus system. So it is vital that you do capture email and fax number in these fields if required. Then I can simply click add, and as can now be seen, ABSA credit card has been added to my list here. And so I can populate the debt info screen with all of our clients' agreements and the details of all his debts.